Good afternoon, everybody, and a Happy New Year on today, January the 1st. And this will be the first video that I'm going to be putting out for 2022. This is Field Commander Napoleon, the 1796 battle. There's a couple different boards. I'll have to move you back and forth between them with the camera because I can't get them all in. But here's what the main campaign board. You see these little French symbols here? These are my objectives. In order to win by the end of these turns, the French have to control all of these spaces. Right now they only control Nice. Over here, this is just the turn chart. These are the enemy forces here. I forget what countries they are, but you can tell the countries by the color of the flag on the left side of them. This is the sequence of play chart. We'll be doing the French, then the enemies. And this is resupply when we get to the resupply parts of each of the sequence of play. The setup is in here. And part of this setup here is in Montoga. Let's see if I can pronounce it. Mantua. I had to put one extra enemy garrison and one extra fortification in there. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is the first thing is to do is advance the turn counter. And I questioned this and I checked some others, and you do advance it on it's March of 1796. Here's a quick way to lose. If I don't control two areas by the end of March 1796, it's an automatic loss. That's right. The 1796 setups and victory conditions are laid out in here, and then this will be the same map will be used for 1800, but there's like 7 or 8 different maps on this game, as you probably saw in my unboxing of this. So without further ado, I'll try to explain things as we go along. Okay, I think the first thing I want to do is I'm going to move some French forces in the Turbine to try to take this. Now, one of the things to look at, what's really important, this is their enemy factor. So they have 9 up there. If I can get 27 into there, I can win that area without even a battle. I forget what this is called right now. It's on the battle chart over here. It's called an envelopment check. And so if you have 3 times the amount of army, it's all over. They don't even fight a fight. So let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to move Napoleon in there with them, with the whatever forces I send up there, because he's going to give me an extra boy, battle plan. All right, let's see what we got here. The number on the top is their activation number, and this is their battle numbers on the bottom. So we got 14, 23, 26. I would need 27 to go against them to get that. So we're going to move him in. We're going to see if we can get an envelopment. It's not guaranteed because of what you do here with the fog of war type of things. So we're going to move all of these guys in. Okay. Now we're not going to move any of these guys because very good chances are that there's a chance some of these troops from over here, when they get their move, can move into Nice and cause another battle. I want to save some supply points because it's cost me supply points to bring some of these guys back to help out. So anyway, that's it for my moves. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking these things here and taking them over to the battle board, and I'm going to show you that once I move the camera over there and we get back to playing. Okay, I've moved the forces from that battle area over there, and since this is there. I'm going to put this in the area so to remember that it's the French forces in Turin. Okay, this map is built into 3 sections. The French reserve, the French approach, and the French front. And then it's reversed, the enemy front, the enemy approach, and there. I moved these guys over here, there, and specifically the garrisons all have to go in the approach area for both, and the fortifications go in the back. And these are cannons that can shoot all the way across. They're not limited to some of the things. Now, the French units, I have them in column formation. They can be in column or line, dependent, but I start off column because we're coming in. I moved Napoleon over here and put him there too. Now what he does is he now gives the French 2 battle plans. If he wasn't in this fight, they would only get 1. All right, so that's where we're at this point in time. Now we're going to do the pre-battle. We're going to roll for the fog of war. Now this is where this 27 thing may backfire on me. Okay, we got a 1d10. The first thing we're going to do is look, and it says if they have 4 to 6 supply points, they have 8 supply points. Okay, if they have 7 plus supply points, they get a +4 on their roll. That's not good. So -4 supply points. So let's pay that price there. So they're down to 4, but they're going to get a +4 on their roll. That is going to hurt me. Okay, I believe so. I'm not very experienced in this, so let's see what we got going here. A 7 + 4 is 11. So we're going to go down here 11. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to see that it says there's going to be 2 battle turns on this, which I really don't like. So I'm going to put this up there to 2. Okay, and then we're going to go across to 11. It says add 1 enemy garrison to the battle. So I'm going to go over here and find an enemy garrison. Put them in the battle. Okay, this is going to make life. Now that takes away that 27 because now they have 14, and I would need 42 to be 3 times as much as that. So much for that. That was the envelopment check, the second thing on this pre-battle thing. The third is determine the battle plan quantities. Each is getting 2. This is by the scenario over here, the instructions. And this is because we have Napoleon in this battle. Okay? Now, buy additional French battle plans. Additional French, pay 2 supplies to get 1 battle plan. I only have 3. And I think I'm going to hold on to my battle plans. Okay? Then we go, select insight counters. Now with Napoleon in the battle, I could pick one of these insight counters, which give special, these are like really powerful orders by Napoleon. But in order for it to come into to be activated, I got to roll a 2 or less, his activation number. That makes it really hard. So I don't want to do this right now. And plus an insight, if you take 1 insight, it reduces your other battle plans down to by 1, equal the numbers. Okay, I placed the enemy forces and I placed the French forces. I already did that while I had the thing paused before we get started. Okay. Here's the battle turns. Here's what that special thing would have come in. Insight activation. Now, I didn't pick an insight, so there is none. Okay? Select and place the French battle plans. Okay, I can get 2 battle plans. Okay, and there's going to be only 2 of these units that get battle plans. Let me explain this. The other units that don't get a battle plan, they can use one of these ones, these standard ones on the right side of this chart here, the same with the enemy up here. Okay, let's see what we got. Wow. Don't have no cannons. That's cannon, that's cavalry only. Okay, we'll look up something in the rules. All right, I'm back. Put the French battle plans out. I picked 2 of them. Put them next to these guys here because the way I understand it, in fact, one of them, the cavalry might have to get one of the. You do it to the highest course, and the P's are higher than the L's, so we'll have to do something a little different here. Give it to the P. No, I'll have to double check that next time. P's are the L's. This is about this was a veteran forces. These are line forces. I forget what that's called. There's another veteran force back here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick out the battle plans for the enemy. They can't do much from there because the garrisons and fortifications, they can't advance, but they could get something good for their so they'll do closing. If the infantry, no roll. Okay. This one, if infantry, no roll. So I got pulled out 2 closings out of the cup for them. So, okay. Resolve the French battle plans. Okay, so now we're going to resolve the French. Okay, now they have a cannon that can shoot. The cannon to activate must be 4 or less. 4 or less, it gets a hit. And it's an 8, so he misses, and now they're done because the garrisons can't shoot this far. The cannons can, but the garrison's got to be shooting next, within 1. That's 0 or 1. So we're going to move these guys up. They're going to advance 1. And then it says if in column, no roll, so that we don't have to roll for activation on this one. Advance. If I moved into here, would there have been a shock test, which I'll try to tell there. Then we're going to change into line. And they could attack 1, 0, or 1 if it was melee. If it's called melee if they're in here together. This also would have gave them a 1+1. What that means is that their attack numbers would have been 6 and 1. 6 would have delivered 1 hit. And if they rolled 1, they would have delivered 2 hits. So they're down there. And this cannon's a little dangerous down there. And so these guys are going to column advance and attack 2 by 2 if there's a 0 or 1. So they're advancing in column. These garrisons ain't going to move, so I'm going to have to go after them, I bet. So this guy's going to march. Okay. As I say, in this area here, you can only have 4 of yours and 4 of theirs, and in the front, you can only have 6 and 6 of theirs maximum in there. So we're going to move this guy. But the bad thing about the cavalry is that if they take a hit and you flip them over, they're done. So we'll leave them back there a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and move these guys up in column. What they're doing is they're marching here. If column, they don't have to roll. Cavalry can advance or retreat. If they're in line, there's no roll if they wanted to fire. So that is not very good. We don't want to get to this withdrawal here thing. So we are getting down here. We do the route check. There's no route because there was no damage done to anybody. Advance the battle turn. Okay, so we advance the battle turn. And we're going to go back. And I think this cavalry, if I do this one, I'll read this right. I'm going to. So we're back to here. in the battle turns. Okay, inside activation, no. Select and place the French battle plans. Okay, I have chosen the charge for the cavalry, and I'll show you these in a minute. Then I showed this for this one here, flank, and this one has to be used if there's any enemy within 2, and there it is within 2. So now we're going to draw and see if they get any special orders for their, because you can't assign battle plans to the static forces, but they can get some special orders. Closing, nope. Oh, here we got one of them. Officers. All enemies get a +3 on their activation rolls. Wow. That's all. There's got to be officers there, okay? So now we're going to resolve the enemy battle plans. It says in their activation rolls. So his activation's 4 + 3 is going to be 7 to activate. And he gets a 3. So now he's going to fire, and he has to hit 4 or less to fire. And he hits a 4. So now that's a hit. And how to assign it. I'm so sorry for having to check so many things. Okay, when assigning a hit, you assign it to the lowest skill level in the area. The skill levels are these. Okay, the C is a conscript. There's no C's here. Then the next is a poor line. We got one poor here. Then you have line, which is L, veteran, which is V, and E for elite. We don't have any elite forces out there. So the only guy we're taking the hit is this one. We flip him over, and he's that. So that's the end of their activations. Now it's mine. And this is going to flank too. What this means is I'm going to advance, and then advance. You get the rule book, flipping its pages in automatically. Okay, so these guys, it says if column, in column, no roll, so they're going to advance and advance. Now I entered an area with another in melee. So it says they must, when I entered, they must conduct a shock at -3. So they have to take that -3 off of here, the 5, and it's a 2. So they must have to take a shock roll. And they need a 2. They got 1. Can you believe that, folks, ladies and gentlemen? This is going to be one of those days. And then they're going to attack. Okay? Okay, so he did the survived his shock roll with no suffering, no attacks. And then the last thing on this battle plan is to attack. Now to attack, they have to have a 6. Oh no, this is automatic attack. Their attack is 5. So they've got to get 5 or below. And it's a 4. And they took a hit. So that is reduced. Okay, now the cavalry. The cavalry's going to advance and shock, advance and shock. They can't advance no more, but they can attack on 0 to 1. Okay, so their activations are 8. They got 1. Now their attack is 8 or 4. It's an 8, so they got 1 hit. So they're taking this guy out right here. And they just get thrown, their losses just get thrown into their reinforcement cups for maybe for later use. Okay, so that is the end of that battle. Now we have a real problem because we just hit the withdrawal. I've never hit the withdrawal before. So I see the withdrawal here. We're going to be doing a withdrawal. We're going to do a roll. And it's going to be either rejoin the battle, enemy retreat, French retreat, or an in camp. And I'll have to look that up. Let's look and see what we got going here. It's a 3. This is an enemy retreat. Okay, I'm going to read this to you from the rule book on enemy retreat. Return the Napoleon counter if present, and the French forces to the campaign map's battle area. Destroy all enemy static forces. These are static forces, so they are destroyed. And return all mobile enemy forces back to the thing, to one randomly selected enemy controlled or uncontrolled area. They don't have any forces there, so that is these guys are going to be going back over to Turin, where this started. They got very, very lucky here. So we're going to pause, get them over there, get the map back up, and show you what we got going there. Okay, the next thing on the sequence of play is the French resupply. Now I'm going to get 3 points for... Okay. French resupply. You gain 3 supply points plus 3 supply points for each French held city. So I'm getting 3. I already have 3. I haven't moved the camera back over there yet for you. I'm sorry about that. There we go. So I'm going to get 3 for... I already have 3. So I'm going to get 3, that makes it 6, and then I'm going to get 3 for each French held city. So I got two more, that's 12. So I have a total of 12 now. All right, so we'll get them up there. Now, I can spend 2 to get any of the injured guys turned back over again. So I'm going to spend 2 to flip this guy over. Okay, then I'm going to buy a cannon. I'm going to buy a 5 garrison. Wait a minute, I want a cannon. So I'm going to buy a 4 fortification. I'm going to pay 4 for that, which is going to take me down to 6. 5 and 1. And I'm going to put him up in Turin up here. Okay, because I'm going to be wanting to move. Now Napoleon, where'd he go? He moves free, so he's going to move back down here for free to get in here. Now I can move some of these trips. It's called forced march. The forced march is actually before resolving the battle. Forced march, and resolve any battles, and then resupply. So I got 9. So I would have still had some left. So I had 3. Yeah, okay, so I am going to move 2 guys back down here into Nice because I'm a little bit afraid. I'm going to pay 2 for that. So I kind of did that a little bit out of order, but I got it all done. So now, the next step, we're still in March, and I do have the 2 cities that I need by the end of March. So we're going to go to the enemy orders. Okay. This is the enemy order set. If they have, right now they have 4 supply points. If they have 4 to 5 supply points, they get a +2 on their rolls, and they got to pay 2 supply points. So they're going to pay those 2. Okay, then we're going to be rolling for these units. And they can only be a max of 3. So we're going to do this because this has got two de-shot guys in here. Let's spit these. We'll get these done. It's taken care of first. All right, so we're going to roll for the top guy first. And when I say it's going to be +2, we'll see what happens here. +2. 4 is a 6. Random. So he's going to be moving random. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until we hit one. Okay, it's going to be moving random. It's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's moving up into here. Okay, the next roll for this guy here is plus the 2 is 3. They hold. That's a big break for Napoleon's guys here. Now we're going to break these guys down too, and you can only have a max of 3. Okay, so there's going to be 3 3s and a 1. All right, we'll do the 1 first. 9 plus 2 is 11. Okay, he's going to advance. Now he advances 1 towards a French-held city with the lowest, and it's going to be military value. So that'll be him. So he'll be moving into here. Okay, 2 different armies coming in here. So we'll go for these guys here. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's a hold. So they're going to be holding down there. Now we're doing for the middle group. 6 plus 2 is 8. That's a French-held objective. So that group's going to be moving 1. They're going to be moving towards them with the lowest. Okay, now we got him. 9 and 2 is 11. And they're going to be advancing to the same direction. So they're going to get into there too. This is getting really dangerous up here. Okay, and he's holding there. Okay. So no battles because nobody moved into our areas at that time. So we're going to, no battles to resolve. Now we're going to do enemy resupply. We're going to roll for each enemy held city. So we're going to roll for this top one up here. The enemy resupply chart's right here. It's a 5. So they're getting 1 reinforcement. So we go to the reinforcement bowl. And we're drawing out a line recruit. So now we're going down to man 2. It's another 5. So they're getting a reinforcement, 1 reinforcement. And that's a recruit. This is a city down here. We're going to be rolling for them. 2. They're getting another garrison, enemy garrison. Okay, so that there is the end of March 1796. I hope you like that. Go down there and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and push us out in their social media channels. This is the first one in 2022, and it's Field Commander Napoleon. This is SoCalsabre. Till you see or hear from me again. You probably will hear me, you watch me play this again, but I want to break these videos up a little bit. So we'll be moving into May 1796, the next set. So until you hear or see from me again, SoCalSabre saying, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.